Thank you, Catalin. So, I think we'll all be leaving with some interesting new ideas, and our brains definitely have been picked. So our next panelist will be Manav Fernandez. Manav is the Chief Operating Officer of Insignia Worldwide, which is one of the leading branding and communication agencies. Obviously, one of the hot topics around is how do you tell a story with your restaurant? How do you make it an experience? And Manav is the perfect person to tell you all about that. So please.
Thank you. How do you follow an act like that? Oh, well. Ladies and gentlemen, if there was just one thing I would wish for you to walk away with this afternoon, it would be this. No one is listening. We spend millions of dollars converting new F&B concepts into restaurants, bars, lounges, or clubs. But when you get out there and start shouting it from the rooftops, the brutal honest truth is no one is listening. Our customers are inundated with millions of messages every minute of every day. Coming from an advertising background, I can tell you, there's print, radio, television, outdoor, out of home, to the ironically named social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Foursquare, Zomato, TripAdvisor, blogs, YouTube, Vimeo, Hulu. The list is endless. Not to mention text messaging, emails, WhatsApp. In the 2 minutes that I've been up here, most of you have already checked your phone at least once. So the question is, who's listening? When I was asked to come up and speak about innovation today, I figured real innovation lies in revisiting one of the oldest known rituals to man: storytelling. You see, my favorite childhood memory involves being sat at my grandmother's kitchen table on a hot summer's day in Mumbai. My grandma would be cooking lunch, my cousins would be at school, and a ceiling fan would be fighting a losing battle, spinning slowly in vain to beat the sweltering heat that Mumbai throws at you in the summer. Nana would ply me with cold mango shakes and tell me stories of her grandparents, their life in occupied India, and the struggle for independence, as I held on to every single word. Narrating those stories to my children at bedtime has formed the backbone of a family ritual that I hope will last generations. You see, we've all forgotten about the importance of storytelling and the power they have to connect people into groups and tribes. From the 5,000-year-old Vedas to the story of the Bible, from the great Indian novel, the Mahabharata, to the ubiquitous Aesop's fables, good stories have transcended time and space to connect people and bring them together. So what does it take to tell a good story? These are some of my thoughts. For starters, make your story multidimensional. Human beings have various sides to their personalities and play different roles every day, as you all do. I, for example, am a proud father to 2 beautiful boys, an avid photographer, an intrepid traveler. I love to dive, and I practice the Japanese martial art of Aikido. See, different people here will connect to different aspects of my story, so make sure you're giving them enough to connect with. As a martial artist, no presentation is complete without a reference to one of the greatest martial artists of all time, Bruce Lee. So I have a story. Legend has it, a prospective student, went to Bruce Lee and asked if he could be his student. Bruce Lee said, of course, yes. And then asked the classic question, how long will it take for me to get a black belt? Anyone here who's practiced martial arts is the first question you ask when you meet your teacher. So the answer came 10 years. And the student said, well, what if I practice every day? The answer was 15 years. So he went, what if I practice twice a day? 20 years came the answer. The student gets perplexed and says, Master, the more I seem to practice, the longer it seems to take. What's up with that? And Bruce Lee said, if half your mind is practicing while the other half is fixated on the belt, it's obviously going to take twice the amount to get it. So, these are legends perpetuated by leaders in their field. These stories are told by various people. There's 100 other stories Bruce Lee has. This man took his brand of self-defense, Jeet Kune Do, and there's millions of people practicing it, not to mention the countless others that have been inspired to take up self-defense because of this guy. You have to ask yourself, does your brand, does your story inspire people? Make your story resonate. I think everyone knows the face on the slide right now. Known for being aloof and difficult, the story of Steve Jobs hit the shelves a few weeks after his passing on 5th of October, 2011. With 379,000 copies sold in the first week. It was the best-selling book on Amazon.com that year. Fast forward to the 20th of August, 2012, and CNBC reported Apple as the world's most valuable stock with a market capitalization of, wait for it, $23.5 billion. People bought into the story, quite literally. They went out and bought product and drove up the stock price. How's that for powerful storytelling? Last week, Wall Street Journal reported Apple to be the world's first company to break the $700 billion mark. And I'm sure not all of this is attributed to the story, but it plays its part. Have a powerful personality and take your readers on an exciting journey. Don't be vanilla. Boring stories have no readers. Boring brands have no fans. And be vulnerable. Superheroes are aspirational, but people can't connect with that. Even Superman is vulnerable to kryptonite. See, we all make mistakes. Some of the world's worst PR disasters stem from trying to cover up mistakes. And in today's connected economy, your mistake will go viral in an instant. Be honest. Don't hide your weaknesses. And trust me, your fans will love you in spite of it. Don't give it all away. You want them coming back, especially if you own a restaurant. Build your story, encourage engagement through a sense of discovery. Telling them everything doesn't leave much to be discovered. Throw in some suspense. TV shows like Game of Thrones have fans chomping at the bit for the next season. So, quick recap. A good story stands for something, connects people into tribes. It's powerful and evocative, with multidimensional characters and storylines that are genuine and resonate with readers. It inspires while being vulnerable and draws readers into seeking more. You see, storytelling is as old as the first human beings to walk the earth. Before there was language, there were stories. And while data speaks to the rational mind, stories go straight to the heart and forge unbreakable bonds. Data is persuasive, while stories inspire people to act. So ask yourself this: what are you doing to wrap your vision in a story that fires up the imagination and stirs the soul, that gets customers talking and inspire action? My name is Manav Fernandez. Thank you for listening.